If you loved Aaron Brockovich 24 years ago and you love uplifting Christian movies today, I am reviewing the movie for you. I'll get into all the emotional details in this spoiler-free review of Ordinary Angels. Ed Schmidt's wife has passed away, leaving him alone to care for his 2 daughters, one of which is fighting for her own life as she awaits a liver transplant. As her chance of survival dwindles, Ed's unpaid hospital bills and mortgage mount. When local hairstylist Sharon hears their desperate story, she becomes determined to help. But even with her good intentions and never say no attitude, Sharon's own personal struggles threaten to hinder her goodwill and endanger Ed's family. For me, films about terminally ill children are starting on thin ice. Very easily they can become manipulative dribble, and that was kind of my expectation going into Ordinary Angels. So I was pleasantly surprised that this movie avoids almost all of those cliche pitfalls. First of all, it's based on a true story. If it wasn't, I would have been rolling my eyes every 5 minutes at the unlikely scenarios conveniently pacing the drama. And certainly, the filmmakers took creative licenses to add to that drama, but the fact that this is an actual event makes this story absolutely worthy of being told. Secondly, the performances are truly excellent. Hilary Swank, where have you been? This 2-time Oscar winner chews up the screen in every scene as the good-hearted but troubled Sharon. Yes, this is a shiny role with extreme highs and lows, and yes, it will immediately remind you of Julia Roberts and Aaron Brockovich. But in the hands of such a talented actress, she is able to give the character nuance and depth that keeps her from becoming a caricature. So many times, rather than just spitting out her lines, you can see Sharon thinking, contemplating before speaking, making her words matter. With a less competent actress, this film probably would have completely unraveled, but Swank's immense talent holds the precarious threads together. Then, complementing the showy performance of Swank is the understated acting of Alan Ritchson as grieving husband and father Ed. Right away, he exudes the characteristics and charm of Chris Pratt, if he ate a tank for breakfast. There's just something so endearing when such a large and masculine man can deliver such a vulnerable performance. I've mentioned it lately, and I will again. It reminds me of the performances in the recently acclaimed wrestling film, The Iron Claw. Ed doesn't say much, but the constant worry on his face and the sweat on his brow say more than words ever could. So his body and demeanor, figuratively and literally at times, carry the weight of the story. Ritchson has become quite popular as the lead in the series Reacher, which I've never watched, but I'm going to now because he is just that engaging as an actor. Along with these excellent performances, Ordinary Angels examines some serious issues beyond its theme of grief and losing loved ones. Subjects such as faith, doubt, self-sacrifice, and depression. Again, these are topics that can easily come across as corny or disingenuous, but the film delicately toes the line and feels sincere. There's one scene where Ed is severely struggling with his faith. He explains that his wife, who died, was on 17 prayer lists. And now his sick daughter is on those same lists. It helps you understand his skepticism. There's another scene where Sharon explains that she hears voices in her head that say she's no good, and the only thing that makes those voices disappear is alcohol, which allows you to comprehend her struggle and why she seeks meaning and purpose outside of herself. The film certainly isn't perfect. There are times that I don't understand how Sharon accomplishes some of her amazing feats. The details feel a bit glossed over, so as a viewer I wonder, did that really happen? I don't always understand how Ed's family has allowed this stranger to become so intimately involved in every aspect of their life. And I mentioned at the beginning that the film almost avoids all of the cliches, and it does. But I will say that at what I consider to be the most cathartic moment of the film, everything stops for 30 seconds to go into full cheese mode. It was brief and it didn't ruin the film for me, but it definitely earned an eye roll. The bottom line is, the trailer says, from the creators of Jesus Revolution and I Can Only Imagine. For the audience that sees that and gets excited, you're going to love this film. For the people that see that and groan, you're going to find plenty to gripe about. I fall somewhere in between, and I was pleasantly surprised. It's very well directed. For instance, in the scenes in Ed's home where the majority of the film takes place, the filmmakers don't just show close-ups of the characters emoting. They use angles that showcase the humble home, full of old pictures, kids' toys and artwork, and stacks of unpaid bills. It allows us to feel the weight of the moment while understanding what they have already lost. It's storytelling by showing, not telling. Also, there is an intense scene in a blizzard at night that is magnificently directed. It is quite tense and looks better than many of today's big-budget films. All that to say, Ordinary Angels won't surprise anyone with its shocking twists and turns, but it is definitely an uplifting and inspirational story that will not only satisfy its audience, but I think it is a well-crafted enough story to reach beyond and win over some of its detractors. What do you think? Leave a comment below, and if you enjoyed this review, please take a moment to like this video, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss any of my future reviews. Also, check out some of my other reviews from the past 6 months by clicking one of these boxes.